cleared the table after Ronnie Sullivan missed a red to left centre. Quite wonderful break of 130 to underline his enormous potential. And the Rockets got a match on here. A number of big hitters have gone out today. Mark Selby right at the start of the day, seems a long time ago now. Stephen Maguire beaten by Ryan Day. Sean Murphy going out in recent times to Liang Wenbo. Another match that went the distance.
Played it well enough, actually. Yeah, I think the reason that it seems a long time ago that Mark Selby lost is because it was a long time ago. Might be the answer, mightn't it?
Yeah, it was a 3-hour epic. Got underway just after 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, we know that Ronnie's got to back up a fine safety game, and never in his career has it been more important to show his vast experience. Usually players are chasing the game against him, but for the moment he's kind of just chasing this match. There's only one down in a short frame format, best of 7. And he's got to get that cue ball safe. Well, that's a weak safety shot. It was such because he hit the red a little bit on the thick side. And that's the one aspect of his game which is clearly not going to be as good as some of the other players on the tour. You can't buy experience and tactical knowledge and nous. It comes with time.
Thank you.
A little fortunate that he covered the available red with the blue, so no damage done.
Well, there's another example of exactly that. He hit that one on the thin side and he's got away with it again, but that is not going to keep happening. Already, I think Ronnie is just sizing up that if he keeps his opponent at long range, he will eventually get chances. In amongst the balls, he looks, at the moment, as dangerous as Ronnie himself.
Thank you.
That's the way to do it. Find that baulk cushion.
And this really is trouble. That's sent through is a path. Bottom cushion, right side cushion, up the table. But he's opting to play as if in a snooker and just nestle on the reds at the bottom. That's not the worst shot. The kind of shot that could see him in more trouble if Ronnie hasn't got a pot to go for. They can just get through to that one. That's a good shot to roll it in. It wasn't an easy shot to play at very little pace, actually.
Six. 7. 14.
I was sure to be disappointed with that shot because he certainly didn't want to go into that red. Stayed up the cue ball, no end. No, overcut it. The shot before was the problem.
Ronnie Sullivan, 14.
Went full-blooded for the pot. Oh, he's been lucky.
1.
That's a pretty outrageous fluke, actually.
So Sullivan with a fluke. How handy is that going to prove to be for him?
8.
Well, it was a really poor safety shot from Ronnie, and you've got to ride your luck and take it when it comes. I don't think Ronnie is the best at that. He almost, as if there's an element of slight guilt when he plays such a bad shot by his standards and he gets the benefits from that. You ever feel that he's going to really take somebody to the cleaners when that happens? But he's got to do that here. He's got to use the good luck to his fortune, to his advantage, because he could really do with this frame. He looked a little bit ragged so far by his, once again, high standards.
14.
There have been periods
15.
during O'Sullivan's career where that perfectionism of his has served to be some kind of torture for him mentally. His inability to accept at times that he can't play as he would like every time he steps
20.
out on the table. I think he's a lot more forgiving of himself these days when things don't go entirely to plan.
21.
There's quite a few on here. And that was a kick that was very tinny.
It's very rare that O'Sullivan gets the cue ball cleaned, even when he does get a kick.
27.
Just gets on with it. I think the jury's out still as to whether cleaning the cue ball has any effect.
28.
That's not gone to plan either. So a slightly scratchy start from the Rocket.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 28.
42-point lead nonetheless.
Oh, that was a double kiss that took the cue ball up the table there. And has left something for O'Sullivan with the rest.
Thank you. 1.
Well, what about that for a shot? If you get a chance, we'll try and get you a look at it again. It could well be enough for Sullivan to win this frame.
6. Seven.
No. I mean, it wasn't a dead set plant. It was nearly there. Had to slightly make it.
Ronnie Sullivan, 7.
Hard to fathom. So a chance for Zhao to get back into this frame. 49 points adrift, but still plenty there. Don't see many of those a season from O'Sullivan.
Tell you what I would say here. I wish Zhao would use a different type of chalk, because the table's a mess on that left side, on that right side there. Again, we might be able to get a look at it, but there's so many chalk marks, it's unbelievable. And we'll get more kicks. Just to the right of the black spot there, all these screw shots he plays, there's a huge chalk mark on the table. And if we're going to get kicks, that mightn't help. Look at all those. We've only played a couple of frames,
16.
not even that. And I don't know what he uses for chalk, but it's making a mess of the conditions out there.
17.
Oh, what a frame this would be to win for Zhao. The first was achieved by a quite brilliant clearance of 130. O'Sullivan's had a couple of chances to put this away. He's had some good fortune as well, but only mustered 49 points from all of that.
23.
Yellow and green, the obvious problems in terms of
24.
possible clearance. But right back in the frame now.
Well, the chalk marks are not distracting Zhao. That was a good shot, not received with any applause, but
31.
of course the clearance is nothing's impossible, but it's nigh on where yellow and green are. To get from one to the other, I don't see it happening unless something gets shifted before then.
32.
And that was a good kiss, actually. It gives him a chance to get from brown to final red.
$36.
Oh, time to lay a good snooker. Red on, or close to a colour would help matters here. The snooker's its certainty.
Sullivan's initial 49-point lead reduced to just 13 with 35 left.
Room to go around the back of this. It could have been a slightly better effort. As I say, red next to the yellow would have been interesting for possibilities of a free ball. Ronnie could conceivably go around the back of this. Oh, it was there. It was on.
Foul and miss.
And as he left a free ball.
Zhao Xintong, 4.
That's an important question. I don't think so, but the red is available. Well, I'll stick to my guns and say that to clear up with the yellow and green where they are is one in about 1,000, I would think. So it's probably going to take more than one visit to the table to make that happen.
Just a little bit casual on the pink.
Yeah, I think so. Thinking about the shot which is coming next, but there isn't one as well as he is concerned now that he's missed the pink. He's very uncomfortable looking on this shot. He's got up a couple of times. Keeps changing his mind. Well, he doesn't look as sharp tonight as he did in his previous match last night. There's no getting away from that. He has been pressurised, which is always part of it.
Thank you.
So he's got a bit lucky, though, with the brown. So this frame still very much in the balance, 8 points between them.
It's an important part of the match, this. Ronnie, if he wins this frame, he takes the sting out of things by doing so. Brings the score level, but from 2-0, I think Zhao Xintong would fancy the job.
A number of surprises today, not least the demise of world #1 and reigning world champion Mark Selby, and over on one of the outside tables, Judd Trump 2-0 adrift at the moment.
Yes, Judd Trump playing Jamie Bodle, who was the 100th winner of the English Amateur Championship, which is the oldest snooker competition of the lot. A lot of great players have won that. That man, Ronnie Sullivan, beaten in the final many years ago as a particularly young man. It's good contact. Didn't really play a snooker, but I tell you, he played a pretty good shot out of one. Plenty of the yellow.
So often a double kiss leads to trouble, and Sullivan can pop this yellow.
Yeah, the problem is, though, Philip, is how does he get on the green? And if he misses the blue, this is a very fine effort. Needs the cue ball to stop, though. The angle was perfect. Just run a ball's width too far, which makes this shot, if he plays it at all, difficult. He knows it could cost him the frame if he goes for this and leaves it over the pocket. It's a risk that he may or may not feel the need to take. Well, only just.
Fortune favouring the brave. Sullivan thought twice about that one. He knew it was risky. But now,
9.
it's surely a frame winner and a match leveller.
Well, just a little bit of work to do here. Playing this down the bottom, these can be missed. He knows this has got to be given his full attention. And
14.
I think he'll breathe a sigh of relief. It's not an O'Sullivan sort of frame, rather scrappy towards the end. Doesn't suit him, but
20.
we've got a game on our hands here.
Yes, no fireworks as yet from the Rocket, but he'll be delighted to have levelled the match after that blistering start from the teenager Zhao.